glad that you, I'm glad that you guys found this platform, and I'm glad that you're here. We can also, there's a button in that barcode, there's a button to chat on the side. So if you want to, feel free to send me questions or whatever. You can text me through the chat box. So this is like the new normal, right? For the time being. This is, and I don't think it's going to be any quicker than like 2 to 3 months, okay? So how are you doing? What are you doing to take care of yourself for your well-being? And what are you doing physically to keep your body physically active in this time? What's going on? Talk to me about how you guys are doing. You can, yeah. You jump rope
today. Yeah.
Nice. Do you have a space to do that in, or do you go to the gym, or where do you do that? Don't go to the gym.
I have to do it in my house.
Right. And do you have a space to do it in? Do you have where are you guys living? Do you have enough space to work? I just want to know what the situation is so that moving forward, I need to think about what materials we will need. What can we use that's just around, right? So first of all, are you safe? Like that's number one, right? Are you safe?
Yeah.
Okay, great. Do you have enough food? How's the grocery store looking? At this point, the grocery store should be back to sort of ramping up normal. We might not have toilet paper for a while, but be fine. We'll figure it out. But how's the grocery store situation?
Everything's good.
Yeah.
Online.
P, how are you doing?
Yeah.
Sorry,
everything. Yeah, everything's good over here.
Okay. And who are you quarantined with? Like, do you have family around? What's the situation like that? Like, can you have time for yourself to do these phone calls with me on Wednesdays, or how's that looking?
I actually told my mom to like just give me like a couple hours to like be on the phone call because of class. If she says it's class, then she'll understand.
Yeah, and we're gonna talk. Then we're gonna do a demo of what work to do for the upcoming week, and then we're going to so it won't be a 2-hour course, but I want to see, like I'm going to ask the whole group this, if it's easier for people to meet at say 6:30, if it's running into dinner time right now, I can also do that. We can be flexible. Also, you're not mandated to be on these phone calls, so the way that I'm going to take attendance from now on is it's going to be, are you getting the work done, right? And I'm going to be looking to see if you are looking at the RCC website, if you're looking at these videos on your own, to make sure that that's supplemental attendance, because really there's no sort of formal attendance at this point. We can't do that. It's asynchronous learning. So you can do this on your own time. You can watch the video on your own time, which I'm hoping that since it's recorded that a lot of people will do after this class is over. So Melanie, how are you guys doing? I've been sending out videos about gardening or starting seeds or things that you can just kind of start at home that that can give you like additional nutrition, right? So how's that been going? Have either one of you had sort of time to even consider that, or what are you guys doing? What are you spending your time doing?
I did watch the video. I can't leave my house. I was able to before, but like I got laid off. So yeah, so now I'm stuck in the house for good until further notice.
Okay. So do you still go outside for like walks, or do you go jogging? Can you go to a park? Can you go somewhere where you can you go to the beach, like somewhere where you can go and be outdoors and not be just housebound?
My mom's worried. She doesn't want me to go outside. Because I guess, recently my aunt's coworker got like tested positive. So like now she's like even more worried. So like now, I don't know. She's just like anxious.
I know. And over the month of April, right, this thing is going to spike, and we're going to know more and more people that kind of have the virus. So that's devastating. But at the same time, public outdoor space, like if you can be 6 feet away from people, if you can drive yourself to a park or to a beach or to any outdoor public space, it's still a good idea to kind of like continue walking, and continue exercising if you can, right? And if you can't, then it's important to kind of do that. Plus, sorry, just backtracking. Vitamin D from the sun is really important at killing the coronavirus. So if you can get yourself outside for like 20 minutes a day, that will be. Who's that? Hey Jay, how are you doing?
Good, how are you?
I'm good. What's going on in your neck of the woods? Where are you? How's your family? What's going on where you're at?
Everything seems to be okay. I mean, everybody just stay doing the social distancing, and
Right.
that's about it. So,
Right. And we were just talking about it's okay to go outside as long as you're away 6 feet from other people. So if you still want to take walks outdoors, as long as you keep, or bikes, right? Biking around is also really great for you so that you can have, you can still have that distance, but you can get that outdoor space where, and if it is a sunny day, make sure that you get outside because the vitamin D helps fight the virus. Okay.
well, I'm still going to work and all. I mean, I'm still going outside.
How's work going?
It's all right. I mean,
So-
everybody just stays away from each other a lot more, and
Right.
everybody's wearing a mask. That's about it.
So yeah, I think masks are also key. I'm going to put on our website where you don't have to buy a mask or where you can create your mask from an old T-shirt. It's really simple to make. So I'll put that on there so that folks can start making their own masks. Because I think going out in public over the next month, even if you just go outside, it's a good idea to put it on, just for protect. Just because this thing is now around and it will be around for a while longer. Okay. They're predicting, my guess would be, guys, that it would, like, June is like the safest prediction that maybe this thing will start declining. But we might have it might spike again. So it's one of those things where for the next year, things are going to be really interesting and quite different than we have sort of ever known. And that's not necessarily a bad and devastating thing. You just have to make sure you keep sane and keep functioning. And we'll help and we'll see how we can live the best way we can. Okay. So I want to know from the three of you that are in this chat, what are you doing for your mental well-being and what are you doing for your physical well-being? Anyone, take it away. Melanie, what are you doing for your mental well-being?
Me time. So since I'm out of work now, I feel less stressed
Well, that's good.
because I was so consumed with my job.
Yeah.
So I felt like even though like I'm trying not to look at it as a negative thing and more so as it being positive. Because I mean, at some point they told me they'll call me back, but
Right.
I'm more happy that I get the break off so I can have mental and me time to myself.
Yeah. And actually right now I also lost one of my jobs. So I think it's interesting where that pressure gets relieved and you don't have to be out in public right now. And even if you're AJ, if you're working, like it's nice to have that distance from people. And it is important to have you time. So what do you do for you time? Like what do you actually do? Are you watching movies? Are you reading books? Like what are you doing for yourself? Like how are you taking care of yourself? Because I think the more ideas that you guys can bounce around between each other of how to take care of yourself and how you're doing that might give ideas to other people of what they can do to take care of themselves. Because it's really somewhat stressful, right? Like the news does not look great right now on so many ways, but we'll talk about the positive news because there are some of those too. So talk to me about, hey Susie, good to see you. Talk to me about what you guys are doing for your mental and well-being.
Watching movies, reading, drawing.
Okay, great. Like yeah, fabulous. Okay. Guy, what are you doing for your sort of mental well-being?
I think for now, I just been like trying to like exercise RCC briefing they put in the email and like what to do at home. So I've been trying to like copy that
Yes.
and definitely.
So there's also these online platforms that are free that are just on YouTube if you have access to the internet to do some half an hour of yoga or exercise in any format, right? It'll help you through your day, and it'll also help you sleep, which is very important at this time to like have some good downtime. Susie, what are you doing to take care of yourself? But how's the situation where you're at?
Well, since I work in the hospital, it actually has been kind of stressful. But what I do, I just kind of watch my favorite show
Yeah.
on Netflix. I haven't really practiced anything in regards to yoga or anything like that. But I think like that puts me like in a distance with like thinking about what's going on. I just kind of get on my own little
Yeah.
time with watching like shows.
Which is really important for you to do. How many hours a week are you at the hospital?
Still working the 8 hours for now. Basically they've already made an announcement that certain people are gonna go furlough.
What does that mean?
Which is like they're gonna lay people. It's like they're laying you off, but you're not really getting laid off because
They need you.
It's like they lay
say
you
that
off
again.
temporarily, and then they call you back when it's like ready. Because the same thing happened
Yeah.
to me. But
I
they're gonna
see.
assist you somehow. I don't know. It's
Okay.
weird.
Yeah, I hear what you're saying because well, no one knows, right? Like the people who are running the hospitals and the businesses right now, no one knows how long this thing is going to be around for, right? There's no concrete like date to try to like prepare to go back to work, right? So they have to kind of give themselves some time to see how this thing turns out. But Susie, for you specifically, make sure if you're there 8 hours a day, make sure that you unwind. So for class, I want you to like just videos yourself meditating or yoga or anything that is or unwinding or even just watching your favorite show, right? Like you don't have to do extra. What you're doing is already plenty. Do you have enough like supplies for the hospital? Which hospital are you at?
At the Boston Medical Center.
Okay, and how's that looking with supplies? Do you guys have enough?
For supplies, since I don't work in the ER, I mean I wouldn't know as far as supplies in general how it is for them there, but
How is it in
they
your
are
department?
they're giving masks to everyone to wear now because there has been people that have gotten exposed employers, so now they're saying like you have to wear a mask as you working you know in the hospital. You can right in the entrance basically they're giving you a mask so you can, so if someone has the virus and they don't know they have it, I guess that's a
Right,
way of preventing it.
right.
And but there's still a lot of people, just like the front desk people are the ones that are being more effective by this because they just don't nobody's coming into the clinics and there's no appointments going on, and we've canceled a lot of clinic days, probably 3 months from now. So it's
Because
just
because
mhm.
the hospital can't take that load, or because there's more corona patients coming in.
Well, they cancel it just because to reduce the exposure
Right.
between patients, and I guess it's just, and I work in the infectious disease department, so a lot of the patients there, they're very prone to and susceptible to getting, sick because they're already sick.
Right. Right.
It's
Right. Right. Right.
how they're, yeah. So I think
So
that has a lot to do with it, but a lot of the other departments are doing the same thing.
yeah. So you specifically need to be really, really mindful about keeping yourself mentally and physically strong. Okay. To make sure that you uh, look, I think most of us are going to be exposed to this, to the virus over the next course of the year, right? It's just about especially for hospitals, if they're overwhelmed with the amount of patients that come in, right? Susie, do you have enough at home, like grocery store wise? And do you have, are you eating well? All of that stuff is really important.
Yes, I've been fortunate enough to, be able to get stuff at the grocery when I do need it. But for now, I've been having, I have food, I have enough stuff. Not
Awesome.
not too big of an eater, but I eat.
As
I'm
long as it's
eating.
healthy stuff, right? As long as you have healthy stuff. Okay. So a couple of things is about the garden stuff, right? Starting a little bit of herbs and vegetables. If you can supplement your diet with something that is from the outdoors that you can just chop into little, like the mint from Murray Garden goes into my water. There's also these forsythias, the ones that are in bloom right now, right? Like these little guys. They're really good for your respiratory system, right? So if you see these bushes that are everywhere, pick off the green little bits at the bottom and just eat this part. It's a little bit bitter. Like it doesn't taste delicious, but it will give you the extra nutrients that like your body needs. And this particular flower is for the upper respiratory system. So it's one of those things that people don't really teach you, right? When you're in school, it's bitter as heck. But that's okay. It's good for you. So chives is the same thing. Chives are really great. Thyme is really great. So if you can get extra spices either at the supermarket or just look around what's growing. Right now, wild chives are generally in the New England neighborhood. So if you see and you can smell it and it smells like an onion, like those things are pretty good to eat, okay, after you wash them. So that's something to think about. There's also this video on when you get your groceries, how you're supposed to clean them. There was a doctor from Michigan or something that, and I'll link it to our website, how to clean your groceries when they come in, or how to clean your takeout food when it comes in. And he does it in a pretty systematic way so that the virus is gets off because I guess at this point the virus lives on various surfaces, right? So cutting down on that. Again, you guys are healthy and young and strong, right? So the likelihood of this virus really affecting you are hopefully very, very low. But it's good idea to boost your immune system right now. And if you can get vitamins, supplements, eat green and vegetable, the same thing your mother probably tells you over and over again. Like that's really great for you.
Yeah.
Yeah. So load up on that stuff right now, even if it doesn't taste good. And then we for in terms of this course, we're going to meet like this. I'm going to be here every week, and I want to see what time is best for you. Like if I start at 6:30, you guys, I don't care when I start. You just tell me we're going to go for about an hour on the phone call. And then I'll leave you with directions for you to do your project and email me the pictures when you're done. But I can start that hour anytime. So if you take a poll and I email everybody and they respond to me that you want to start at 6:30, that's fine. If you want to do it another day, that's fine. But we just have to find a collective time that works for you. So out of the four of you here, and you can put this in the chat or you can respond through your mics. Out of you guys, do you want to start more like 6:30? Is that better for you to go to 7:30? What's the situation?
So I'm not sure because it's like a fluctuation. I mean, I was trying to figure out how to work this thing. That's why it took me a little bit to get here. But
Yeah.
I think, I don't know. So, because the thing is that, I also use the rest of my time when I'm, I don't even know how to, I guess, I'm not sure. But I guess 6:30 would work. I was just wouldn't want to like lock a time in and then every single time be like, oh, that's the time I have to make sure I'm on there.
For this hour, so how about the rest of you? Is 6:30 work better than 6? Or I don't care, but you guys decide if 6:30 is better and just let me know. And we wanted to talk about, right, how was it getting, Melanie, has 6:30 work better for you?
Yeah, it works.
Okay, 6:30 is fine. Okay, good. When you logged into this platform, I have to email the guys that aren't here. Maybe they had trouble. Was it easy enough to get to? Did you just accept the email, or what did you do to get on this platform? Did you go to Outlook?
You're asking me?
Anyone? Yeah, Susie, go for it.
So I just basically, when I clicked on it, it said that I had to download this app, Microsoft Team, and then I downloaded it, but I thought I had an account because you said something that it was linked to the Outlook, but I don't think it was linked to any of the emails. So I just figured out I can sign in as a guest, and that's what I did.
Okay. Okay, so I will post that, but because that, so you should have, from the school, as I understood it, they were supposed to set you guys up with an account so that it's automatic, so that you can just come to this call on when the schedule is posted at 6 p.m. But that's good to know. All right, so we are going to go into portraiture, and we're going to go into busts and how to carve a face. So for this section of the virtual class, if you could turn on your videos, if possible. If you don't have a video, that's okay. And if you can grab a pencil and paper, because we're going to talk about proportions of the face and how to first feel out the skeletal structure and how to draw that. And then we're going to go carving. And for carving, if you have, that's a little bit later on in the class. If you have an apple and a knife, we can do this exercise. If you don't have an apple and a knife, that's okay too. You can just watch what's happening, okay? So please go get a pencil and some paper, and we'll get to work, okay? Let me see. Let me just let me know when you have it, okay? When you have your materials.
So does it have to be a pencil, you said? Or?
It could be a pen. Any writing tool is fine.
Yeah. All right, so I already have it.
Okay. I'm just emailing Musa as guest to see if these guys are available. All right. Okay. Okay, great. Oh, it's so good to see you guys. Yeah, turn on your videos if you can. It would be so nice to see you. It would feel like I'm not just chatting by myself. Okay, so the first thing to notice is that there's mathematical formula and proportions in our body. Okay, and the one thing that when we're doing a face or a bust is to notice where the eyes are. Oftentimes people put the eyes much higher than they are, but if you take the measurement from the bottom of your chin right here and go to the bridge of your nose, right in between your eyes, in that hollow part of the nose, this part is equal to this part. Okay, so test it out on your own face. You're going to be measuring with your hand. Okay, we're going to measure out these proportions. We're going to draw them, and then I'm going to show you what this looks like in terms of sculpture. Okay, how many of you have? Did you take one of those cubes home, the plasticine clay cubes, or did everybody have a chance to grab one, or no? Or maybe if you did, it might not be around right now. That's okay.
I have the hand that I did. That's... Okay.
Oh, we can collapse that. Okay, so from the bottom of your chin to the bridge, and then put your hand straight up at the top, and just see if it matches. To see how equal that is. It's not. We're not going here from the forehead, but we're going to the very, very top. Okay, which means that when you're drawing or sculpting, when you have your object or when you're drawing on your page,
exactly what you want us to do.
That's okay. We're going to be drawing the face from touching our face, basically, right? And then we're going to I'm going to talk about how to sculpt a face into an apple. based on these proportions that we're going to feel out. Just like when we did the hand, we felt out the hand. The way to start sculpting people's torsos or busts is to really feel it out, because that touch, sense of touch, really gives you the scale and the three-dimensionality. Okay. By the way, with the videos that I've been sending on gardening, are those helpful to you guys? Have you seen them
I'm
when it goes?
actually confused about those videos because did you give us a project to do with gardening?
No, I didn't, but I thought it might be useful if you did start one. I mean, it's not an assignment, but for yourself, it might be a good idea to like throw some chives and seeds into a garden and then have it, you know, around in your kitchen so that you can eat fresh stuff. But it's not an assignment. I don't want you to stress out about more assignments. I'd rather that you just relax and in this like crazy time, just take some downtime. Okay?
I haven't really gotten to that basket now that we're talking about assignments, because I know that you gave us a paper on like directions to do that the basket by hand, but
Don't worry about the basket.
I just don't even, I can't remember where the paper went.
Yeah.
And then I have the glue gun, so
You specifically shouldn't even think about doing any other kind of work besides your work and being at home and relaxing. So I don't want you to do anything, Susie. The rest of you, if you have extra time, and AJ, you're also working. So only when you have time. And if you when you are on these phone calls, I'll try to make sure that the assignment is done by the end of our class, right? So within an hour, this project will be done, and you don't have to worry about getting it done on your own time, okay? Because I know time is precious. Okay, so again, measuring here to here, here to here, okay? So what that looks like is when you measure out, so say I wanted to draw a head starting right here, and it can't go past this line, right? Halfway through, so I'll take my measuring and my pencil, and I want to find out where the halfway point is. So it's somewhere, if I take this measurement and this measurement, the bridge of my nose right here, right? Because this and
actually you have the, I'm sorry, you have the thing not in the middle, so I can't really see what you're doing.
So this is the bottom line, this is the middle line, and this is the top line. This is how big, how tall the head is going to be.
It's still covered on the side. Like
I think you might have to move back.
You have it like this, so yeah, you might.
I see. Okay, hold on. Let me turn on the light. And then let's see how. Okay, and so if I have it over here on this side, will you see it? Do you see it?
You're still covering it.
You need to like move it back, like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like that.
Yeah.
Is that good?
Yes.
Okay. All right. So we started at the chin here. Okay. Halfway through, you want to give yourself a mark. That's going to be this point, and then the top. Okay. So there's 3 lines on your page. The middle one is halfway through. Okay. That's the most important one, because from this bridge, we're going to be going down. Okay. So your eyes, these eyes on the bridge, are exactly in the middle of your head. I know people often draw them and sculpt them higher because they think that the face is only includes from here to here. But what we disregard is this whole top part of where our brain is, okay? So when you are drawing a face, this way, again, you have the bridge here. And then we're going to, from the bridge, measure out down to where the nose is, okay? So you're going to take the bridge down here. And your nose, there's 3 noses in your face. You're going to take your nose measurement. And then if I close my mouth and stop talking, this measurement is the same as this measurement, okay? And the same as this one. You can feel it out on your own face. Take the size of your nose, the length of it, from the bottom of your nose to that middle bridge, okay? Go up, and you'll find that you're almost at your hairline, okay? And the measurements can be slightly off. Each person has slightly different measurements, but it's close enough. So you have the nose, you have chin to your nose, and then you have bridge to your hairline. Okay, there you go. Melanie, you got it? Does that feel almost the same? You might have a tiny bit bigger, especially when you're talking. That bottom part is a little bit bigger. This one? right? This one, and then this one. From the bottom of your nose down to your chin.
It feels like it's probably a little bit smaller than. I mean, it might be like. I mean, would you mean like in between your eyebrows, or is it like underneath your eyebrows?
It's that section where it goes completely in before it comes out for the nose. So it's right inside there. That's the bridge that I'm talking about.
So would it be in between your eyebrows, or
It
is
would
it
be in
underneath?
between. No, it's underneath. It's in between your eyes, right in between your eyes.
So
right where your glasses are, actually. Right where you're a little bit lower, Susie. Like, yeah, right lower with your fingernail, lower there. That's where the bridge is. Okay. So this measurement.
Okay.
To this measurement and this measurement is almost the same. Okay. Which means that in your drawing, and I'll try to. Can you see it now? Can you see the drawing?
Yes,
right.
we can. I can see
So
it. Yeah.
halfway, hold on, halfway between these two lines is going to be the bottom of the nose. So that's going to be the bottom of the nose. And then if I take this measurement, it should be about the same to the chin. And then if I go up, this was what is going to give me the hairline. This is going to be the hairline. Okay. This part is going to be, this whole top bit is going to be the head. Okay. The hair part. Okay. Trust me. So bridge of the nose, same measurement to the chin. So you can double check to make sure that this distance is the same as this distance. And then you have that same distance to go to the forehead, to this line right here, which is not the top of the head, right? That's the part that we often forget. We forget from here to here because it feels like it's the end of our head. We draw it because we think that's the top, but we disregard that this part is actually higher than here, okay? And when you're drawing it, you have to have enough room for your hair and your mask, okay? So anyway, so here you go with the size of the head. So the head's going to be this big, okay? What we want to know now is the width of our head. Take from the chin again to the bridge, okay? That same measurement, freeze it, and go take a width, which should be about the width of your cheekbones. So this size is about the same as this size. Are you with me?
Yeah.
More or less.
Really.
Yeah.
Actually, I'm trying to see how you put those measurements on your paper. I'm trying to figure that out.
You're okay. So first decide how big your head is going to be in total, right? On your page. So how big can it be on your page so that you have a face? And then divide it in half.
So what I say would be like from here to here.
Yep, and hold it a little bit back for me so that I can see it. And a little bit higher up like this. Cool. Right. So where your finger is, that's a good bottom, where your finger is right now. And then I see the mark for the top. Right. So if you want to you can make the head a little bit bigger because you have bigger space on your page. But for now, that will do fine. Okay. AJ and Guy, how are you guys doing? Are you able to do it with us? If you're not, that's okay. Do you have a piece of pencil and a paper? Are you with me?
I got this one.
Awesome. All right. So the nose line, I see your bridge line, and that's good. The nose line is going to be halfway between this mark and this mark. So it needs to go a little bit lower, okay? And don't worry, we will go over these measurements. So don't worry if you're a little bit lost, it's okay. So for right now, take this size from the bridge to the chin and just put it sideways because that's how wide your head is going to be, okay? So imagine if I had a line, straight line going this way, I would take from here to here the measurement and the width of my head would be about that big. Okay. The top part is going to be, this part is going to be a little bit bigger. It's like an upside down egg, our heads. It's a little wider up at the top and a little pointier at the bottom of the chin. So if you're going to draw your oval, you can connect the dots to over here to those sides. It's going to be wider here and going narrower down here towards the chin part. Okay. And again, we're just getting to know the face. So you just want to sketch it out. Okay.
Oh.
You got it. You got it. And so And because this bridge is here, and can you see how the eyes are right on that bridge? Because when you hold a pencil, you won't be able to see through it. It means that our eyes, guys, are halfway in our head, and no one draws them there. That's where they actually are located, right? They're on that line. So your eyes, and we'll talk about where the eyes begin and end right now, okay? Your eyes are going to be right on that midline. Are you with me?
Wow.
I know, it's crazy. People
Can
have
you do the measurement again of the head?
Yes. From here to here?
I can't see the rest. You probably need to move a little bit. Yeah, like from where you. So we did the middle part, but I'm talking about the
width of it. Yes. So the width is the same as from chin to the bridge. So the measurement, watch me on my face, the measurement of this is the same as the width of the cheekbones.
So what if
Right up to the bridge, go a little bit higher, Susie, up with it. Yeah, there you go. And now go around your cheeks and just be mindful of your nose. Your nose is blocking some part of it. Is it almost the same?
Well, it's hard to tell because I don't know if I just like opened my fingers or if it just
Right. So when you're doing your measurement with your fingers, the hardest part is to keep them really in place and solid. So if you can freeze that measurement and then go to the side, you'll have it. Just trust me. You'll have, so which means that when you are doing your drawing, this size from here, when I take it with my measuring stick with my pencil, this side, I just go to the side, make a mark over here. And then from here, I turn it around and make a mark over here. You good. And we're going to go over this over more time. So, right. And then up here, it's a little bit wider than that. Down here, it's going to be a little bit narrower as you go to the jawline. Okay. And then you connect the dots for your face. AJ, how are you doing?
Yeah, I'm here. I'm all right.
Are you touching your face? I mean, I know we're not supposed to touch our faces in COVID. I'm sorry. But this is one of those exercises where we have to touch our face a little bit. So just make sure your hands are washed.
Yep.
How's the sketching? Do you have any questions for me? Bottom of your nose is here. Bridge of your
No,
nose
I
is
got it.
here. Chin. Okay, good. And your eyes are, these little ovals are going to be on the side. So there's actually 5 eyes in your face. You have, you can take the width of your eye, right? And then that part in between your eyes, not from where the nose is, but the part that where it's corner to corner from your eyes is actually the same as the width of your eye. So if you count, you have your eye, you have that bridge in between, and you have the other eye. Now then you have, if you go to the side, from the corner of your eye, the size of an eye is about to your hair, to your temple. All right. And same thing over here. So you have 5 eyes going across your face. So the way to do that in drawing is you want to think about giving that space in the middle, right? You're starting your eye here, size of your eyes, both of your eyes start here, and this eye equals that space in the middle. And measure it out on your own face. So I want to know where my eyes begin and end. Okay. All right. Leave that bridge in the middle space, and then because we are facing, when you're drawing or sculpting, when you're carving this away, this part is going to be actually smaller. If I take my eye size and go over here, it has to be a tiny bit smaller because this plane is going to the back. Okay, so it seems in drawing like it's smaller over here. So you can, your space over here before you get to your temples, just make sure that it's a little bit smaller than one eye size. So if my eye size is like this size is going to be a teeny bit smaller. My temple has to come in a little bit. Boom. What kind of music do you guys want to listen to as we do this? Any relaxing music that you're into right now? I'll put something in the back. And we can,
I don't know.
I'll just have little tunes on in the back. Okay, so we have the eyes, we have the bottom of the nose. The last feature to figure out where it is going to be the mouth, okay? If you take the measurement from the bottom of your nose to the in between of your lips, from here to here, it's about 1/3, because if you take it down, it goes about to your chin. And if you take that measurement again, it goes to the bottom of your chin, which means that your mouth is about 1/3 of the way down. And you leave more space and more room for your mouth. Okay. So you have the mouth here, and then you need that longer space, 2/3,
Oh, it's not
to
in
your
the
chin.
middle. The okay.
Yeah. Okay. So I have my nose halfway and the mouth about 1/3 from the top next to your nose, and then 2/3 down here to the chin. So if I put it this close, you can't see it?
Yeah, it just wasn't. It's just you didn't have the thing, like you didn't have the whole thing. You had it halfway. Like
Okay.
you. That's.
It's moving. Okay, you're not seeing what I have on the screen. Okay. Sorry about that. Okay. So you're good to go. All right. So now we have a face. Oh, right. And we forgot the ears. If you take the measurement from your nose to either your eyebrow or the bridge of your nose again, depending on your size ears, mine are huge. So I go to the eyebrow line. If you take that measurement and go directly to the side, you should hit the top and bottom of your ears, which means for your drawing, if I were drawing me, I would take the bottom of my nose, go to the side, and get the bottom of my ear. And then my eyebrows are above my eyes, so my ears are going to be here on the side. Okay? They seem ginormous. They are. From here, eyebrows here, and then that's your last feature is your ears. Right at the side, and usually if you take that nose size and go directly to the edge, it'll tell you where your ears are in relation to your nose. They're in about the same space, okay? Which means in drawing, it's really easy. You could take that bottom of the nose and go across, and you'll hit the bottom of your ear. And from eyebrows, go to the top, and that's the side of your ear. And they're just little C shapes that you can draw in. All right, guys. How's it going? Anyone need to get a glass of water? Stretch out a little bit. This is great. This is good. All right. All right. So the next step is to do a little bit of shading, okay? Because we need to figure out what part of our features, it's like feeling your skeleton underneath your features. We need to erase or highlight the features that poke out and add shadow to the places that that go in, okay? So you're gonna take your picture. You can take a pencil, you can take whatever one you have, and you just want to shade over with the side of your paper horizontally across your face over the entire thing. And you found your measurements once, so you can trust that you're going to find them again.
I don't know how accurate my measurements are, but
Don't worry, we'll find them again. All right. Get a nice solid kind of coating on the whole thing. And try to make sure that there's like no white spaces so that you don't have a drawing with just lines going across. See if you can fill out all the white spaces. And if you shade with the side of your pencil, it's going to just give you that much more lead to cover the surface, and it'll be faster. Okay, so you have this like balloon shaped thing on your page. The measurements are still there. They're still you can still see them. And if you've shaded over them, that's okay. We'll find them again.
Well,
Are we supposed to color outside of it?
You don't have to. You can just color inside of the face.
Okay. Because I went.
That's fine. Totally fine. All right, so now whatever part, and do we have erasers? Do you guys have erasers on your bottom of your pencils or something to erase with?
Yeah,
I
I
have an
do.
eraser.
All right,
Just
grab an
don't
eraser.
get
If
the-
you're sketching with a pencil, that's fine. Grab an eraser, and you want to erase everything that pokes out. So the first part to concentrate on, you know where your forehead was because you made a mark there. You made a mark for your hairline. So you want to erase. You can start with erasing the forehead. Okay. Because that catches light. In when you have a sun or anything that's bright, right? It hits us from the top. It highlights the parts that poke out, and you have the forehead. You also have the nose because the nose pokes up quite a way. So you can take your drawing, erase the nose, like a line in between those eyes, right? And you can end with a little like ball shape at the bottom, and your nostrils to the side. Those all catch light. The next thing that catches light are going to be your cheekbones. These things right here that the light comes in and it highlights this area right underneath your eye socket, okay? So you can take your drawing and erase right underneath the eyes, right at the top of your cheeks. Okay, and the last thing that it gets highlighted, this chin pokes out. So you want to take your eraser all the way down to your chin and just shade that out or erase that out. Okay, just something like this. You good? You good? How many times do you get to draw a portrait? This is it. It's gonna be fun. For a while. All right, and everything that goes in. So eye sockets go in underneath your nose, certainly in between your mouth, and then a little divot underneath. Anything that you can feel going in is going to have some shadow. Okay, so you're going to take your drawing around your eyes, between that nose, any kind of color or pencil, whatever. That part gets a lot of shadow, and so does underneath your eye. You want to put shade there. You also want to put shade underneath your nose. Your nose protrudes from your face quite a bit, so it casts shadow right underneath it before your upper lip. So you want to put a little bit of shadow there. You also can put a lot of shadow in your mouth. That's the darkest part. So when you have that line for your mouth, you can really make it dark. And then there's a little bit of shadow right above your chin on that little part that goes in underneath the lower lip, that goes in right before your chin pokes out. That's where we want to carve out or sketch out a little bit of shadow. You're right, underneath the lower lip. Okay. I forgot to do, so you can draw in when you draw in your pupils, they're just circles that goes right in the middle of your eye, right? So take a dark pencil or a pen and make these circular things right in the center of your eye. That section that we had an eye, right? These guys, the pupils, correspond, like if you look up, you'll see that if you put a pencil directly where your pupil starts, so directly where the eyeball starts, and go straight down, you'll hit the corner of your lip. Okay. Same thing with the other one. If you take it from the pupil, go all the way down. It'll give you the ends of where your mouth is, which means that if you drew those pupils here, if you go straight down, the corner of the mouth is over here, straight down. That's how wide my mouth is going. Are you still with me?
Yes.
Good job. Good job.
Just
Good job.
looking at this. It's
All right,
look-
show me your pictures. Show me what you got. What's happening, and I can. We can it's all good. It's the first. Perfect.
looking
Okay. The
crazy.
measurement, great. So the one bigger thing, Melanie, for yours is to add a little bit of a chin. There's a little bit more space for that. How's it going, Guy? Okay, awesome. Great job. Eyes are in the middle. Great. Fabulous. Susie, just bring it back a little bit so that I can see a little bit better and a little bit higher. Okay, perfect. Okay, bottom of the nose is great. Yeah, these are looking fantastic. This is exactly right. Great job. We always make the eyes a bit bigger. So Susie, you can shrink them just a little bit. They're just and we always draw them bigger because they're how we communicate, right? So you can shrink them just a smidget to have it be a little bit smaller. So now the biggest contrast on our face is hair. Okay. So we want to take whichever way you style your hair. I don't know if you're drawing yourself or if you're drawing somebody else, but the way that you style your hair, you want to take a dark pencil and really dark because there's huge contrast between your face and your hair. And you can go ahead and shade it in all the way to the top of where you ended that head. And your hair continues all the way around your temples. Right here. Goes all the way down to like your ears. And then you can go ahead and shade even for women, you can have some extra hair down here. So wherever you have your hair, go ahead and shade that really, really dark. I don't know why I chose to do the blue one, but just the pencils that are lying around, right? You're going to take that hair all around the temples, all the way to the ears. And if you're a female, if you want to cover your ears with your hair, feel free. AJ, are you there? How's your looking? How's your drawing looking? All right.
Yeah, something's wrong with my camera, but I'm here.
Okay, that's okay. If you want to email me the picture, I'm happy to see it in email too. Okay. Whole face protrudes from our neck, so it means that there's a lot of shadow. If the sun can't bend around, the light can bend around. So over here we have great shadow underneath our chin. So you can feel free to shade in anything that's not your face for your neck. All right, and now we're going to tackle eyes and how to draw those, right? When you look at, so if you have hair, you also want to think about eyebrows. Eyebrows are going to be above, right on the edge, but give yourself a little bit room between the eyebrow and the upper eyelid, okay? So you want to put your eyebrow right at the top of your eye socket. dark pen or
I can't see nothing on your. Well, you didn't have to. So you mean right on top of?
so when
No,
you
no.
are when you have your eye, we know where the eye is going to be. That eyebrow is going to exist right at the top, right on top of your eye socket. So there's going to be a little bit of room between the eye and the eyebrow. So right underneath your forehead, but on top of your give your eyeball a little space. So not right on the pupil. Okay. That makes sense. Let's see. That's another contrast because it's hair. It's going to be much darker than your face, and it frames our eyes. And actually, with our eyebrows, we communicate quite a
I don't know who I'm drawing, but.
bit. Let me see. Let me see. Let me see. It's all good. Listen, if it's even remotely, when was the last time you drew a portrait? Please, it's fine. Let me see. Perfect. Okay. And we'll go back to the eyes pretty soon. Okay. I would darken up your hair so that it really frames your face. Make the hair really, really dark. And push down on a pen or something that's darker than a pencil. Or push really hard on the pencil and get it to be really, really dark. Wait, you didn't just crumple your paper, did you?
No, I threw something. I threw something to the side. Underneath.
Right. Drawing is one of those ways to kind of escape and have fun and not worry so much because I think we're in this perpetual mode of worrying right now. I think there needs to be a little bit of a break and a little fun. So this is one of those things that you can do to just kind of help your hand relieve some tension, some stress, and have a little bit of fun. AJ, you can go to work tomorrow and show your people who you're working with your drawing from 6 feet away. Melanie, how's it going with you?
I restarted it.
What? Why?
didn't
They're
bring
just
it back.
particles. Listen, it's not. What? It didn't look like you expected it from. Why did you restart it? I want to see.
It
Don't
looks
restart
perfect.
it. You have so much work in that one drawing. Why would you restart it? No. Let's see. Don't restart it.
I just
Perfect. No, 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 no. Come back. Get back. Get back. I want it back. Okay. Put it back on there. It's fine. Stop. Don't judge it. Okay. Hold it up a bit. Okay. Up higher. Okay. It has perfect spacing. So I will talk about the nose. Don't worry about those parts yet. Get enough volume to the head. There needs to be a much bigger, this part needs to be much bigger, okay? So let it get wide up here, and there needs to be substantially more hair, okay? So much more here, okay? Add that whole part in, and don't worry about the features right now. We haven't gotten to those yet. You can't trash your drawing halfway through the process, guys. You have to let it trust that it's going to go somewhere, okay? Don't judge it. Don't judge it if it's good or bad or whatever. Just let it go. Let you. By the way, those of you who do have that extra toilet paper cartons around, right? Like extra teepee, you put a little bit of soil in it, and I have a little, I don't know if you can see it, but there's a little pepper growing. Cute. Extra teepee rolls, you fold the bottom, and fill it with soil, and suddenly you got yourself a new plant. I wonder, I want you to see it.
How did you cover the bottom?
The bottom you just fold in. So you cut like 4 strips and just fold them in so that it has a just fold, right? And it can drip out. The water can still drip out. And then you dump some soil into it, and then you got your little, and this can go directly into your garden or whatever outside. And it's not one of those plastic things. It will just biodegradable. It'll decompose, and it's fine to use in the soil. So if you did stock up on toilet paper, don't get rid of your rolls. Start a garden with them. All right. Eyes. We're going to talk about eyes next. We have eyebrows. The next thing that's really dark are your eyelashes on the upper part of your lid. So you know how we drew those round pupils? You never see round pupils like this unless someone is terrified or excited, okay? We never see like full eyeballs like this, yeah? The upper eyelid is cut. So you can go, you can make a line cutting right through from side to side, right around, right at the top part of your pupil, okay? So put a line, a dark line, right at the rim of the top. You do see the bottom sometimes. You see the bottom bottom sort of round parts of your pupil when you look at each other, right, Melanie? Just look into the video for a second. Right, I can see the bottoms of your pupils, the round parts, but the top part of you is cut by an upper eyelid. Can you see that when you're looking at yourself? Right, the top, unless your eyes are bulging out, the top part is cut. And I'm sorry, I'm not looking into the thing. The top part is cut by your upper eyelid. So that's why you put that line right at that rim. Okay, the bottom one you can leave.
Yours looks like a real person.
So does yours. Stop it. It's human. It's fine. Stop judging. It's all good. Yeah. I've also drawn, you know, like the last 20 years, this is what I devoted my life to. Heaven knows why, but this is what I've so you have shade for your nose. It's just a highlight in the down the middle, and then you have shade. And if you go in as a diagonal, then it's going to make the nose feel like it's popping out. Okay. You also have like little edges to your nose right around the corner. So we'll talk about the nose next. But everybody okay with the eye? You can put a little shade underneath your eye right here, right, for the bottom lid too, because you have eyelashes there too, over here and over here. Okay. So in your drawing, if you're drawing from an image, this part, right, like where you put your eyelashes or whatever, that part you can outline as well. I'll take my little pencil and you can put little. No, Melanie, we do want to see you. It's all right. You keep your video on. It's fine. Keep your video on. I can use a model to draw. I don't know why the boys are not brave. Just keep your videos on. It's nice for me to see you so that I don't feel like I'm talking to myself. All right. Now we have to tackle, so there's your eyes, right? So now we have to tackle, if you take anywhere that the light is not bending, so here around the temples, anywhere where the face is going backwards, you want to put a bit of a shadow. Right now I have a highlight behind me because the light is behind me, but you can usually cover this up with shadow when the sun is above you. So you take your pencil, just shade in on the sides a little bit. And going all the way down. Now this will look like a mugshot. It's all good. Don't worry. Don't judge it. Don't criticize. It'll be all right. Please, my person's blue. Like, you don't have to judge your own work. It's fine. We're just learning about the proportions. We're not judging the work for looking like you, nothing. What are you watching when you're sketching? Can't sketch and watch at the same time.
My dog is sleeping.
Oh. Right now, pets are really great. It's nice to snuggle with them, right? It's great to have them. Is anyone living by themselves on their own right now?
Yeah.
You're
Well,
okay.
yeah. I mean, my kids are not here with me, but usually they would be here.
Where are the kids?
With my I have one with his dad, and my daughter's with my aunt.
Okay.
So,
Is that because you're
no.
working at the hospital right now, or?
Yeah, yeah. Because they're out of school and no after school, no nothing. So yeah.
That's hard. How are you doing with that?
Um, it's like I'm all right, but I'm just like okay, it's been like almost 2 weeks now, so it feels kind of strange, just kind of getting used to it. But usually my son goes away on the weekend, so
Yeah,
he's not here with me all the time. All the weekend, and then my daughter, she's just excited that she's somewhere else. So,
that's good.
but yeah, they're doing good. They're doing good.
Good. Do you get to talk to them or video chat like this with them?
Yeah, sometimes I do.
Okay, that's cool. All right. Anyone else alone by themselves? Okay, good. Your families and all that. Yeah. Why are the men not on this phone call? AJ, are you good by yourself or
I'm
not?
good.
You good?
I'm
Okay.
with my family, but I'm in my room by myself. But like,
Yeah.
I'm with family right now.
Okay. Well, so the family brings its own challenges, right? Sometimes it's actually nicer to be by yourself, but yeah, it's a whole new learning process, right? Anyway, all right, back to the face. The last parts that are really, really dark. So when we see our profile, we have our nose, we have the upper lip, we have the lower lip, and then it curves to the chin. Okay. So it looks from the side, it looks something like this. Okay. And you have light that hits at the top of the nose. Underneath the nose, there's shadow because the light cannot bend around it. Then you have light at the upper, right at the upper crescent, like right at the edge of your lip, there's light. And then your whole top lip, if you notice, if you're looking at yourself in on the videos, your top lip tends to be darker than your bottom lip. And that's because the bottom lip pokes out and catches light, okay? And then in that little divot space, so you have light hitting at the top lip, the lower lip, and then underneath the lip right here, there's a bit of a shade, right? Before the chin hits, and you have light hitting there, okay? So wherever the arrows are, that's where you have light hitting. Wherever you see a dark line, that's where shade is, okay? So which means that it translates into this. For your nose, because we're not drawing the nose looking up like the slits, your nose, you just need to put a little dark line on at the bottom of your nose for one nostril, and then a second little curved line for the second nostril. And they're really, really dark, right? You can also, so you have those two dark lines to breathe through, and you have shadow areas around your nose that goes underneath for your nostrils. So you can go ahead and sketch in your nose with these simple, like these little curves at the bottom of the nose are just simple curved lines, okay? They go like this, they're just curved at the bottom, and they're just for you to breathe, and they're really dark because they go in when we, we're inhaling and exhaling. Okay. Another dark part is in between your lip. That's the darkest part when we're talking, right? You can make that line really, really dark. And then for your upper lip, you want to take a relatively dark pencil. It doesn't have to be red. It can be any dark pencil. And you can make those peaks and valleys for the upper lip. Whereas the lower lip gets nothing but it's because it can even get erased. And then there's that shadow area right before your chin. Okay. So it looks something like that. So add your shadow areas and erase your lights. Lower lip can get erased, chin can get erased, but the upper lip stays dark. We also, at least I do, there's a crease between your nose and going down around your mouth. So you can make that stuff a little bit more when you're older. You want to make, if you want to look at what you look like later. Make it easy. Anyway. How's it looking? Show me your pictures.
One second.
There you go. Melanie, wait, back up, put it back. Not a 2-second kind of thing. Okay, let me see. Okay, even, you know how this part over here, make this eye a little bit smaller, and here add a little bit more hair. Awesome. See, this is fantastic. Again, same thing. The eyes, this part should be a little bit smaller than your eye. So you can narrow this part in and narrow it all the way down the cheeks. It doesn't have to be as wide as it is. It can be a little bit smaller, okay?
Like right here.
Right,
Narrow it
exactly.
down?
You can narrow that down, and the hair can continue around right next to the ears. Okay, yeah, you can trim the whole part of that oval down a bit. Let's see. Awesome. Hair is fantastic, Susie. Let's see. Okay, so the face is good. The proportions are good. You need ears if you're going to have them, if you want them. But you also want to. You can also make the hair a little bit darker. But that's looking great. What are you guys complaining about? If you haven't drawn portraits before, these are great looking portraits. Nice job. Nice job. Awesome.
Thanks.
It's important not to self-criticize. I mean, I think we butcher ourselves enough. You don't need to do it in your right now. Just surviving is a good thing. By the way, if you need anything, there's support at RCC. Like if you, I don't know, whatever the circumstances are. If you want a job, I can post some stuff that there's lots of places that are hiring right now. If you want a job, if you don't, then I think staying home right now and just chilling out for about a month. By the way, they're going to probably, if you're thinking about rent and mortgage, I don't know if some of you have mortgage, they are thinking about suspending it for a year. Okay, so you can go to your landlord or to the mortgage company and have them suspend at least for the next few months if anyone's worried about finances. I'll tell that. Actually, everyone, if wants to see that they have any concerns about making payments, now is not the time to worry about. All right. Once you have your drawing, we're going to move to an apple. So I think if you have an apple, get it. You want to make sure you wash your hands. And I'm using this tiny little blade that is from my grandmother. So the smaller the blade, the better we'll be able to carve this apple. Okay. Is it Melanie? Is that a kitten? Or no, that's a dog.
No, it's my chihuahua.
Oh my God, how cute. Oh, we should try to draw his face. That would be awesome. All right, so after you have you're satisfied with your face, you're gonna move to the sculpture part of it, okay? So wash your hands if you want to eat the apple as we're carving, and get yourself a carving knife, okay? Anything from your cabinets will do, as long as it's the smaller the better. The way to carve, okay? So I'm just gonna wash my hands.
I don't think I have a carving knife.
A tiny,
Or you mean like a regular knife?
Do you have it? How big is your knife? I mean, unless it's like a really big knife, show me the knife that you have.
You have to get up. Sure.
All right. Melanie, do you have an apple and a knife?
An apple?
Huh?
An apple?
If you don't have an apple, you can do this part on your own, Key, then. I'll show you how to do it. And then you can go to the grocery store. I don't know if any other fruit will work. A pear might work, but I thought about an apple just because so something relatively easy to get. If you can get it at the supermarket next time you're there, you can do this
I have an
exercise.
apple.
If you have a lump of clay from the class, the clay also works fine. Okay. I'm just gonna go wash my hands. Get your stuff together. So Guy, if you want to go, I think we're going to finish with the carving. If you feel like doing this on your own after if you have an apple, then you can do that later. AJ, how are you doing? Do you have an apple? Let me see the carving knife, Susie. All right. You know what? We'll make it work. We'll figure it out. Just please be careful and mindful not to slice yourself when you're
Oh
carving.
yeah, no, I'm good with knives.
Okay. And when you're working with detail, just make sure that you're cutting, with the tip or whatever. Okay. So, we'll wait for Melanie to get her apple.
I didn't have an apple, but this is a
Potato.
grapefruit.
I wonder if it's going to work with the grapefruit or not. Potato might work.
A potato?
Potato.
Might be a small one. I think I had those, ones that are like this. It's not big.
That's okay. You know what? When you go to the grocery store next time, get an apple. I'll show you how to carve it, and you can always watch this thing again. Okay. So once Melanie gets back, we'll resume. And after this, you guys are good to go. And actually, anytime, even if you have to miss any of the videos that I will have regularly, you don't have to be. What is that? An apple or grapefruit? What do you have, Melanie?
An apple.
Okay, cool, awesome. So you're gonna do this with me. I don't think the grapefruit will work, Susie. I'm sorry. I don't know if it's going to. Well, you can try.
Because I see it needs to be more solid, not
A little bit more solid because you're cutting chunks out. Okay, so look at your apple. Decide where the front section is going to be. Okay, and you want to make half. So I have to take it halfway through the apple. So if I have my apple here, and I want to think about halfway where the bridge of the nose is going to be, right? Then I want to cut. I'm going to make 2 cuts. I'm going to make a cut for the nose, and I'm going to cut out cheeks. So hold on. I'll show you in a minute. So something like this. Okay. So a chunk for the nose, and then everything around it will be cut out because that's going to be the eye socket. So I have a measurement that this part, the bridge of the nose, is going to be about halfway into the apple. Okay. Then the nose is going to be halfway in that, right? So when you look at the side of your apple, halfway through, you want to make a slit. Okay. And you're going to take that away. Here's my apple guy. So nose section, cut off chunk here, cut off chunk there, and you have yourself a couple of cheeks and a nose, okay?
That's a nose?
Well, not yet. Hold on, I'm still carving it. Hold on. The nose has to go in, right? So I'm going to take the tip of that nose, and I'm going to carve it back. All right, so there's my nose from the side. Okay, and from the front, this is what it looks like. I use the top of the nose to stay, and you can carve out the skin off so that you can. This bottom part is going to be the part that's going to be of the uppermost. Okay. Then my nose goes back.
You could have just gotten a pumpkin.
You're gonna have a. You're gonna be carving a pumpkin. That's fine.
No, I'm
right.
saying we could have done it with a pumpkin.
We could. You can totally get a gourd or a pumpkin, and we can chip away at this. Okay. So now we have. Now I'm gonna think about the mouth area, and I'm thinking about every part that goes in. I want to carve away. So if you need to touch your own face of where to carve around, you want to carve out the parts that poke out. You want to leave in, right? So for the mouth, for example, I want to leave a kind of mound over here. And actually, when these carved apples dry, they're going to look like old people. Okay. So if you leave this on your windowsill for a couple of days, up to a week, the face is gonna shrivel and it's gonna look like a human face. But a third of the way down between my chin and my nose is going to be my mouth. So you can take a big slit, right? And in that mound, you can start carving big mouth. You see the mouth? It's this part right here. Now, make it a little bit. So my apple is relatively wide, right? So down a little bit. Go in. All right, does that look more? Can you see? Okay, that slit over there. So you want to have a deep cut for your mouth, right in there. And then we're going to work a little. We're going to open up that mouth. So I'm going to take my knife and I'm going to open up for the upper lip. Let's carve it out. Okay. And I'm gonna define that nose. You want to give yourself as much of a space for the nose so that you can keep cutting away. Once you cut away, you unfortunately can't put it back, right? So I can now take that nose and trim it a little bit, trim the sides a bit. I can also go in and carve nostrils. So this maybe, Susie, with the big knife that you have, might be a little bit more difficult to do.
Yeah.
You might want to. You don't have to. You don't have to. Actually, some carving. I don't know if you took carving tools from our class, but the carving tools would really be well. Now for the eyes right next to the bridge of the nose, right here. You want to set some really deep holes for the eyes. So I go ahead and I carve out really kind of deep sections of that eye. You can go quite deep on an apple. You can go get in there quite a bit. Right, so that you have these holes that will start looking. And actually, if you have kids, these are kind of fun to carve together with them. This is one of those fun activities that you can do together. You can carve away. The size of the nose is again the same as the forehead. So if you want to think about where your forehead begins and where your hair begins, you can carve out the red part of the apple for a forehead. But you can leave the skin of it for your hair. So if I wanted to trim down, slim down, the top part, that's going to be part of my forehead, and the hair is going to start there. How's the apple tasting? Are you carving with me?
Yes.
All right. How does it look? Show it to me.
I've only made the part that you were talking about. You were going really fast.
Sorry. I'm sorry. I'm trying to not bore the people who are just watching, and at the same time, yeah, I want to keep an action-packed movie for you, but it's not happening. So from the top of the nose, cut into it. The nose is a third of your face, right? So decide where the halfway point is, right here. Make sure that you have the other half at the top.
So
You might have to go each on the other side of the and start over. So when you have your apple,
I had like the nose, and then I saw the other side, and then you connected it, right?
I had for the nose, I cut like a diagonal on one end of the nose and a diagonal on the other, and cut away the cheekbone. So basically, I cut into the apple this way, around the nose in a triangle fashion, and cut away the cheeks, because everything here is cut. The nose is protruding from that place. Okay, your eyebrow stays there. Your brow stays there because that's at the top. That's your skeletal structure. But everything that's the cheeks down, you want to cut away. Grandma's going to come from this apple. All right. So I'm going to continue with my forehead and cutting around the shape of the face where the hair is going to be. I cut also around the bottom lower lip. And I think when you do the drawing, the sculpting becomes easier because you know your proportions. And that's why we did the drawing first, is to know your proportions before you go into this. So I'm going to carve around here before it comes down. And carve away a little bit at the hair. I just want, and then make a little. So the face is starting to like come together with cutting around it. Once you have your features in there, you can start cutting around, and it will start making like hair on the sides, and it'll start framing the face a little bit for you. Sorry, it's hard to see in a video chat room, but start coming out. All right, and you just want to have a rough idea of where, and you can feel your face, your own face for it. You can feel out if it's poking out, you don't cut that part. If it's going in, you want to cut deeper there. That's why the eyes are cut around really deeply. Your cheeks are cut away from your nose. So the part that stands out the most is the nose. That's why you start with the nose so that you don't cut too much of it. Okay, this is a subtractive process, so you have to make sure that the nose stays highest, and you're cutting away from that. Okay, your planes are going, you're cutting away from. Maybe you could do this on a grapefruit. I haven't tried. You can try.
I don't think that would work. You're right.
I think you need a bit of mass for this. All right. So attempt, next time you go to the grocery store and you get some apples, attempt to carve a face with whatever tool you have, okay? And keep the proportions in mind. Don't worry about how it comes out as. If you let these dry, and if you don't want to eat the apple in the end, you can let them dry and they will shrivel up to be like elder folks, okay? And that's nice.
I've seen those before.
Yeah. Yeah, so that's what we're doing. We're recognizing our elders, but no, yeah, this just gives you an idea of how to start your carving, okay? Always remember like what's at the, then you can't cut the forehead next part that goes up, so the eyes really need to be set in way, way deep when you're carving. The mouth is also a little bit of a bump. That's why I left a little kind of valley for the mouth so that I didn't cut away for this section of the mouth because that pokes out as well. And then unfortunately with most carvings, the chin part gets a little bit lost. If I had a little bit more mass, if the apple had a little bit more of a wart down here, then it could be a better chin. But basically, you have kind of a human looking face in your apple. Okay. So no big deal. This is just an instructional thing. If you want to try it, it's kind of fun. As for assignments, I will start posting I think the max, when do we end? When does the semester end for you guys?
I graduate May 15th.
May 15th. Okay, right. So it's going to be like the first week of May. So I'm going to talk about the final next week, what to expect. And I'm assuming that between now and then we'll get to maybe like 2 or 3 projects. Really, this time is for you to figure out like, what is it that you need in your life, especially when things are so chaotic right now, right? There's a very new normal. It's nothing like we've ever, all of us experienced before. So you have to think about what's really important to you, and structure your day around that, right? Like all the time, even when you're going to work, like think about how you want to spend the rest of your time. Because it's really interesting. I think it's very important for humans to reconsider how we're living, right? Now that we've been quarantined for a couple of weeks, the environment has really kicked off, right? There's so much less pollution. If you notice, there's a lot more birds. There's a lot more, there's actually a whale that went by our town. I've been here for like 30 years. There was a whale that went by our town, which never happened. Someone caught it on a drone.
The earth is detoxing.
The earth is detoxing from us, the pollutants, right? So we have to kind of consider moving forward how we move forward. Do we want to run around like chickens with our heads cut off? And is that really, it's not really great for the environment. We're just killing ourselves and killing the planet. That's not a win-win, right? So reconsider how you want to live, how you want to structure. If you can grow most of your food, right? Like that's a lot of the bill. If we don't have to pay for housing, and now they're kind of like tossing the idea around with not paying rent and mortgage, just a choice. Just someone says, okay, right, like we can. It's going to be really fascinating year. We have no idea where this is going to go. For the next month, it might be a bit of a struggle, especially for you in the hospital. Like it might be really hard. Just be careful, be mindful, be good to yourself. Don't worry about your schooling. Please don't worry about, like, schooling is the last part that you need to worry about. How are you doing with your other? How are you guys doing with your other classes? How do you have other classes that you need to worry about?
I have bio.
Okay, Susie, you?
Yeah, I have biology too, just like she does.
Okay. Guy, how many classes do you have? And AJ?
I have 3 classes.
3 classes on top of your full-time work?
I'm not working.
Oh, sorry, Guy. Okay, so 3 classes, that's okay. And AJ, how many classes?
3 plus this one, so 4.
4. Okay. You're really stretching yourself thin. Why are you doing that? Do you need to like graduate quickly?
I wanted to, but I'm having trouble with my statistics class because I don't think he knows how to set this up. Yesterday, we were supposed to have class. Alex Reyes or something like that.
Oh yeah, I had him last semester. He doesn't know how to use a computer.
Yes.
So we have been getting trained for the instructors that don't know technology. We have had training to set stuff like this up. And even if he can't set it up through a virtual meeting like this, he can always just put it on RCC. So I would connect with the school. I would connect with the RCC and say, hey, my instructor's not posting, and I just want to make sure. By the way, your grades are taken care of. Like it's not right now. I don't know if they're going to pass-fail system, but at my other schools, they're all going to pass-fail because it's an unusual time, right? So it's not
What does
about.
that mean?
That means that most of your projects are not going to be. If you do them, you pass. Okay. It's not going to be like marked, 80%. Like no one's going to be picky in trying to judge your work. I think, I don't know exactly RCC's strategy right now, but I know most schools are going to pass fail so that you pass if you're there and if you're present and participating, or if you're looking at the material, you should have a pass in that class. Okay. And if you don't, if they are giving you a lower grade, then you have a case to fight for a better grade from the institution. So you can disregard what the professor gives you, and you can go to the institution and say, look, coronavirus, right? Like this is a devastating kind of situation. You have a reasonable argument to plead for your grades because it's not only stressful, but school is not the priority right now, right? Your health is the priority right now. So take care of that first, and we'll do the rest together. Okay. Do you have any other questions? I'm going to have this platform open. I'm going to have office hours. So if you need office hours, if you need to see me, just send me an email. I have time, an hour on Saturday or Sunday. If you need to catch up on any work, let me know. And other than that, you're good for tonight. If there's no questions. Unless
See ya.
okay. Good night. Go to
Good
sleep.
night. Fine.
All right. Take care. All right, guys.
All right.
Have a good night.
All right, you too.
Megan.